What is socialism? Socialism is a social economic system in which the components of production belong to the people, that is, the workers or the state. In the context of this video, whenever you hear the term owned by the state, it also means owned by the people. In a socialist system, the strategic industries, services, and natural resources belong to all the people. However, socialism has many different interpretations. In most of the European economies, socialist parties are sometimes in power, even though they exist in a capitalist system. The socialists in the world's most advanced economies say that socialism is not the same as communism. They say that socialism does not mean that all industries, services, and resources belong to the state. All communist regimes, however, past and present, describe their systems as socialist. The former Soviet Union was called the USSR, which stood for the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. In communist regimes, all factors of production belong to the state. According to Marxist theory, socialism is a transitional state in society between the overthrow of capitalism and the realization of communism. Marx wrote the Communist Manifesto. There are several types of socialism depending on where you are and to whom you are talking. The common element found in all the different forms is social ownership. Social ownership has a range of interpretations, which may mean cooperative, collective, or public ownership. Many socialists believe that even ownership of company shares forms part of socialism. The European socialist parties, such as Britain's Labour Party, have generally promoted social democracy. Social democracy is an economic, social, and political ideology that supports social and economic interventions to promote social justice within a free market economy. European socialists believe in a capitalist system that is completely democratic, egalitarian, and solidaristic. They point to the Nordic model in Scandinavia during the second half of the 20th century as the best example of what they believe in. European socialists believe in a free market system that has measures to minimize income equality and provision for the welfare state. The welfare state refers to financial assistance from the state to vulnerable groups of people. Soon after World War II, Europe's socialist parties rejected the communist model of the Soviet Union. They supported the concept of private property, a mixed economy, and a proportion of essential utilities and public service in private ownership. These modern socialists committed themselves to a mixed economy, that is, a compromise between capitalism and socialism. They abandoned their pre-war goal of replacing the capitalist system completely. European socialists, also referred to as social democrats, strive to reduce inequality, poverty, and the oppression of unprivileged groups. They support free education, care for the elderly, childcare, healthcare, and some other public services. What is the main difference between communism and modern socialism? Socialists believe in democracy, while communists do not. When a modern socialist party is in power, people can criticize the government without being arrested. In communist countries such as Cuba or North Korea, they can't. Socialists want their citizens to democratically decide more things than they currently do. As far as democracy is concerned, communism and socialism couldn't be further apart. In a socialist system, The focus is on making sure that everybody has their basic needs met in a mixed economy. In a communist system, the working class, that is, the state, is completely in charge of society and controls all means of production. In a socialist system, there is more government interference and intervention in the economy than in a purely capitalist system. All the major economies, which are known as democratic free market nations, are in fact mixed economies. None of them are anywhere near being entirely capitalist. Even the US, the flagship of the free market, bails out struggling banks and sends its citizens money during crises, such as the coronavirus pandemic. America spends more than $1.3 trillion on unemployment pay, housing assistance, and other welfare items. When the American and European governments bail out their struggling banks, which they did during the Great Recession from 2008 to 2010, their actions were socialist in nature. The advanced economies today will take measures to stimulate the economy when there is recession. That is government intervention, which is a socialist trait.